cloud.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. This is Christy Whitman. Welcome to You and Your Life Are Unlimited. And I am going to stop sharing because that is funny. So I don't know why that's not working today. It's not giving me the thing that I need. But anyways, today we are going to dig deeper into lack versus abundance, because in order to shift something that we want, we have to understand and have awareness of what we're doing. So last episode, we talked about the law of sufficiency and abundance, and encouraging all of you to watch your words and go to watchyourwords.com, because we have so many words and phrases that we say that start the entire concepts that we're going to be talking about today. And last episode, if you watched it or if you need to go review it, I talked about adding another word. And sometimes we use the word if. Well, if that happens, then I'll da-da-da. And a lot of times it's like, well, if that sells, or, if I meet a person, or if I have a baby, or if my business goes to whatever level, it's very wishy-washy. It's not very solidified. It's not using our creative power. So instead of saying if, say when. When I find my partner, when my business hits this, when I attract those clients, when I have a baby. When is so much more powerful than saying if, because if is like, well, I kind of hope it happens. Whereas when is very solidified and it's based in faith. And just even having those different words and phrases creates a very, very different vibration. So one of the things that I wanted to go deeper with today, because it's really important to have you all understand the difference between lack and abundance. Last session or last episode, I was talking about there are 3 different buckets. Think of it as like a spectrum. And in lack, you feel bad. In abundance, you feel great. And then there's that neutrality. There's coming from the vibration of lack and getting into abundance, and that is sufficiency. That's coming from a place of looking for what is positive, the positive aspects, looking for what is right and what works. And so with an abundant mentality, understand that the second bucket, the neutrality or the satisfaction or sufficiency, opens the doorway into abundance. And once you're there, once you're not feeling bad, you're feeling good, then you can amp up the energy. You can amp up the thoughts. You can amp up your emotions. So I wanted to go through, and this is based on information I collected decades ago, and it changed my life knowing this, because when we understand what we're doing that brings us into lack, then we can shift the perspective, right? So someone that has an abundant mentality, that they look for what is right, meaning not right or wrong, but what feels aligned, right? What is good about a situation? The person that has more of a lack mentality is looking at what's wrong in their life, what's not working. The problem is, I remember years ago when I was just learning this, and it was around the time that I was understanding the concepts of perfect pictures, which was my first book. And my mom and dad came to California. I was living in California at the time. And my mom walked in the house and she thought, oh, this is a lovely house. That chandelier doesn't go with your house. And I was like, wow, right? The whole entire time that she was visiting us, she's like, well, you could get a different chandelier because that one doesn't go. And that doesn't work with the decor. And and she was focusing on what was wrong instead of what was right. So when you're looking at your life, are you looking at, oh, well, the problem with this is wrong. I need to fix that. Or are you looking for the positive aspects? What's working? What is right? Right? The next one that I want to talk about is a big one. When you have an abundant mentality and you're coming from abundance, you feel and know as if there is enough. There's enough money. There's enough resources. There's enough energy. There's enough time. There's enough support. There's enough love. There's enough success. When you feel that there is not enough, you're in lack. And it would be really easy in our third dimensional world that we live in to look at things and go, oh, there's not enough in the bank account. Just that perspective, just that idea of there's not enough and oh my gosh, what if I still don't have enough? Or I have enough right now, but what if I'm going to run out? What if I'm not going to have enough in the future? That's the difference between lack and abundance. That coming from the place of I have enough right now, or I would like more, and that there's a possibility to create more friendships, more time, more love, more support. There's always enough. Next one is I am enough. Because the lack is I'm not enough. I'm going to just mute y'all real quick. Getting a little bit of feedback. Perfect. So when you're coming from a place of, I have enough love. And understanding what we've been talking about in the show is that whatever you desire, whatever's in your third dimensional reality right now, and whatever you desire, there's always going to be a gap between what's real, what you have, and what you desire. Sometimes it can feel like the gap is a huge, big Grand Canyon. And you're like, how the heck am I getting over to the other side of this? Right? So instead of having to go down and climb and, take a whole day to go from rim to rim. I've had a cousin that did that. I almost did it. I'm glad I didn't. She was miserable when she came out of it. Some people love it. Not for me. I'd rather take a bridge between one side of the Grand Canyon to the other, or helicopter. Let's have a helicopter pick you up and bring you over. There's many, many options and ways to get over to the other side, to bridge the gap. And energy is always the way to bridge the gap. When you are feeling that you're not enough, or you don't have what it takes, or you don't have enough support, or you don't have enough resources, or you don't have enough money or clients, or whatever you're saying that you don't have enough in, and then you say, well, I must not be enough. That's coming from lack. But bridging that gap is by stating, I am enough, and feeling the energy of that satisfaction, feeling the energy of that fulfillment, letting that bridge be created in energy. Because when you're coming from, I am enough, that's when you're in alignment with the truth of who you really are. That's when you are in alignment with your divine design of abundance, right? Anytime I have been able to help a client shift from feeling like they're not enough to being enough, it's beyond, it really is beyond words, because it's life changing. Another one that was really big for me to learn, the difference between being in abundance and being in lack. When you are in an abundant mentality, you look at others as someone that you can cooperate with and be inspired by. So cooperation and inspiration, you get inspired by other people. You want to cooperatively work with other people, versus what the lack is competition. This was such a big one for me. And for years, I was mired, I was trained, I was programmed to be in competition, specifically female competition. I talked about this with one of my co-authors in Taming Your Alpha Bitch. because being in a space of competitiveness with another woman or another person in general, it is it's like this idea that there's only a certain amount of a pie, and that if you take more than your share, you might feel guilty. Or if you don't take enough, or you feel like somebody else has taken your share, it leaves you feeling competitive, and that you might have to fight for your share. So my sister and I were pitted against each other, constantly compared to each other, competition for affection, attention, all of that. And it was this, okay, there's only so much of a pie of this attention. And so now I have to fight for my share. And that always led me feeling like I've got to fight. Whereas my sister went the other way, and she felt like, well, what's the point? I'm just going to wave the flag and I'm just not going to even try. So competition based in lack is that there's only so much to go around. And what I learned years ago, and I'm so grateful that I did, is that we don't have a pie. There's not like one success pie and we all have to take a slice of it, and if it's gone, it's gone. We have a bakery. We can make as many pies as that we want. We can make pies of well-being, of success, of abundance, of love, support, and we can make it abundantly. One last thing I want to say about this, because this is a really big one. When you see someone that has done what you want to do, or has what you want to have, and you feel jealous, you feel, well, envious, right? A typical thing that we do is maybe we see someone driving that dream car and you go, that person must be a jerk. Oh, that person must have gotten it so easy. We make these like excuses for why that person has it and we don't. Or we judge them, or we go, well, I must not have what it takes, which is the whole thing we just talked about, because the underlying of that is, I must not be enough. They clearly are enough. I'm not enough. Or someone goes on a trip. I remember years ago when I was just learning about this, friends of ours were going on a trip, and they were going to Europe. And I had, at this point, again, this is probably 20 years ago, I had never been to Europe. And I thought to myself, wow, man, I feel jealous. You know, they get to go and I don't. And I remembered, wait, it's not a competition. Because they go doesn't mean that I can't go. So I turned that into, wow, I never knew. I never knew that I had the desire to go on a trip to Europe. And I allowed my friends to inspire me instead of making me feel like I'm comparing myself. Well, they have a partner and I don't, right? Or they got that promotion and I didn't, or they created their dream home, or whatever it is. When we're comparing, they got it, I didn't, we're in competition. But if we look at, hey, if they got it, that's in my consciousness. And if they did it, so can I. And let yourself be inspired by what somebody else created. Because then you understand your abundance is between you and your abundance. It's not about what other people create, what they have, what they don't have. And that brings me to the next point. With an abundant mentality, you know there's more than enough for everyone. Because in lack, like I was saying with competition, you got to fight for your share. It's dog eat dog. And I used to be in corporate America, and for many years it was like that. There's a winner, there's a loser. There's the top dog, there's the bottom dog. There is not enough accolades, awards, bonuses, positions for everyone. And that's the perception. We could literally look at and believe in lack. Many of us do, and go, well, she got it, I didn't. She got the guy, she got the gal, whatever it is, they get it, I don't. When you can really feel and tell yourself, you know what, there's more than enough for everyone. You don't have to fight for your share. I used to say that to my kids all the time. I have more than enough love for both of you. I have more than enough patience, more than enough understanding. I am in a space of abundance. You don't have to fight for anything because there's always enough. The next point about the difference between abundance and lack is that when you are connected and you feel your alignment to source, to the universe, to pure potential energy, you understand that you can create what you desire. That's why the book, The Desire Factor. My desire has nothing to do with your desire. And your ability to create what you desire has nothing to do with what I desire, unless we make it mean something. Like I said, competition. Oh, you got what you desired. Guess what? I also get to create what I desire. The opposite of that is that I create what I desire, is that in lack, you've got to rely on others to get what you want. And if they don't do X, Y, Z, you can't get it. So that means you're at the mercy of someone else. And you could even look at in a marriage, right? If you're living with somebody, right? And you think, well, I'll just use a real life thing. I desired to have no dishes in the sink, to have a clean sink. And I met and married a man that was a bachelor for 36 years. So he would just throw stuff in the sink, sometimes piling it up. It drove me crazy. And so to feel like I could have what I desired, he needed to change. I had to rely on him to be able to get what I wanted. I didn't feel empowered enough to be able to create what I wanted myself. And of course you could go, well, I could do the dishes every time. I could get what I want that way, but that causes resentment because it's like, why can't he just change? If he could just change, if he could just do the dishes, then I'd be happy. But now all of our power is outside of ourselves instead of what we want. So I would sit in, when I would see the dishes in the sink, I would communicate what I desired. I appreciate a clean kitchen. I appreciate having nothing in the sink. And I would literally feel what that would feel like to have that. And I've been with the man 16 years. He's so cute though. He'll do the dishes and pots and pans, but he'll always leave just one knife or fork. It's like just a little love note. But the idea that I can create and I can have what I desire. I don't have to rely on anybody else's opinion, approval, resources to get what I want. The next one, where you know that you're in an abundant mentality versus lack, is you are connected with your inner being, with your higher self. When you are in abundance, you feel the alignment with the truth of who you are, which is an unlimited being. Our divine design is of abundance. And when you, any of us can connect with that field of abundance, with that energy, with that light, we are in alignment. When we are in lack, we are disconnected. We're actually connected with the imprinted self, not the higher self. And it's a big difference in how you feel. When you are connected to the lack or the imprints, and you think there's no way I can do this, I'm not enough, I'm fearing the future because I might not have enough resources, money, love, support, whatever that may be, this thing that I'm going through right now, no idea how it's going to work out, focusing on the problem, that's being connected to the pain body. It's being connected to the bounded parts, and it always feels bad. Limitation always feels bad to an unlimited being. So when you can even just shift the consciousness, shift the words that you say, the thoughts that you think, the perspective that I am always supported, things are always working out for me. There is a resource, a source of abundance, and I am connected to it. You feel good, you feel expanded. So, couple more, because these are important. When you have an abundant mentality, money and anything, situations, circumstances, experiences, anything that is outside of you is an effect of what your energy is. Money and things are the effect. With lack, money and things are the cause. Meaning, if I have money, I feel happy. If I don't have money, I feel sad. If I have a partner, I feel happy. If I don't have a partner, I feel sad. If I get that contract, I feel happy. It's very conditional. Our third dimensional reality is very conditional. But to understand an abundant mentality, you understand that you are the cause. Your energy, your vibration is the cause, because everything is energy. All energy carries a vibration, and that vibration goes out into the universe and it collects more people's situations, circumstances. All of this is the effect of the energy we give out. I've said years ago that your life is a direct reflection of the energy you hold. Your life is a direct reflection of how you feel about yourself. And that includes all of the things in the third dimensional world. Money and things are the effect, and the cause is your connection or your alignment or not. So that's the exciting thing. That's what I love about understanding, knowing, and applying these universal laws and helping others like you to do this as well, because you take full responsibility. If you don't like something in your experience, you can then change your thoughts about it, your perspective about it, and then the situation changes. So the last one I want to, maybe the second to the last one. One of the last pieces I want to share, because it's really, really important, is that abundance is created with ease and flow and grace. There's a certain, doesn't mean you don't do anything, but there's a certain openness, a flow. Things just fall into place. Doors just open. There's just this grace, this ease. That's when you know you're in abundance. A lack mentality, you believe that you have to force, struggle, push, and work really, really hard. Now, here's the difference. Anybody that knows me and knows my work ethic would say, oh, she works really hard. I put the fullness of what I do when I'm with my clients, when I'm teaching a class. Someone would look at me and say she works hard. I work abundantly. I work and I put effort in with ease and grace. I still take action, but the action I'm taking is from alignment, which opens up the door for more flow. So the effort, I remember hearing this years ago, and I actually put this in the Abundance Principle coaching program because it was so profound. 1 hour of inner work. Now, it doesn't mean you have to sit and meditate for an hour, but 1 hour of inner work, that could mean changing your thoughts. It could mean part of your meditation. It could be doing affirmations. It could be, taking action with fullness of how you want the experience to be, doing visualizations. 1 hour of inner work is worth 7 hours of effort. That's huge, because we're talking about connecting to that quantum realm where it is ease and there's flow and there's grace, and it feels like you just get into a car that's got a turbo booster, right? You still have to drive the car, you have to put effort in, but you go faster, it's more elegant. And with the lack mentality, it's like you're outside of the car pushing it, right? You got an ignition, you got a key, you got gas, you got an engine, but you're behind that car, forcing it, struggling, pushing it, working hard instead of using your creative energy. So the last one I want to leave everybody with today, because this is really important, is that each of us are connected and breathing to the Creator. We are an individualized extension of the divine, and as above, so below. So all that the divine is, it's like the sun, right? We are a ray of that sun. Like the ocean, we are a wave of the ocean. We're not the whole ocean, but we are a wave of it. That wave has the same substance as the ocean. That sun ray has the same opportunity to light up anything it comes in contact with, as does the sun. But that ray is not the full sun. We are not the full universe, but we are the creative agent. We are a creative container. We are a transmitter and co-creator with that divine. And so with an abundant mentality, you understand that you have that energy, that source, that resource to create what you want. You tap into that versus you're out there on the leading edge having to do it all on your own. So the universe and who you are as a creator supports you in everything, supports you in having it all, having it the way you desire it to be, that aspects of your life where you love it. Because the opposite of a lack mentality is the universe only supports me sometimes. The universe only supports me on certain things. And it's an idea of, I can have a husband, or I can have a wife, or I can have a girlfriend, or I can have a boyfriend, but I can't have money. The universe supports me here, but it doesn't support me over here. Or the universe supports me in having money, but the universe doesn't support me in having love. The universe supports us 100% of the time on everything. And you can, like I wrote in The Art of Having It All, you really can have it all the way you define it, the way you want it. You get to align with your birthright, with your divine design of abundance. And when you do, you feel amazing. You feel powerful. You feel courageous. You feel creative. And you allow yourself to have the natural, like you do breath. You don't deny your breath, right? You don't deny your breath. You allow your breath to move in and out. Oxygen is one of the resources that we have to live on this planet. Energy, abundance, those frequencies are what we have access to and we can utilize whenever we desire. So remember, difference between abundance mentality and a lack mentality is that abundance always feels good, and lack, it always feels bad. It's not who you are. It's something we learned, and you can unlearn it very easily because it's not who we are.